I'm Lydia from Novelty, and today I'm really excited because I get to be part of the release team for Shelter of the Most High. I was going to tell you all about it today, but instead I was like, maybe I should instead talk about all of her books and how they lead up to this one so y'all can get as excited about it as I am. So let's get started. The first is the Out from Egypt series, and the first book is Counted with the Stars. It is told from the perspective of Kaya, who is an Egyptian slave. Her father sold her as a slave to pay for some debts, and she lives in an Egyptian household, and she makes friends with some of the Hebrew slaves. So it's really interesting because the plagues are happening, etc. in this book, and you see it from the perspective from the Egyptian, and she's like, oh my goodness, who is this God? Like, what is happening? And so that is a unique perspective that I've never seen before, so I just gobbled this book up. And then she ends up leaving Egypt along with the Hebrews when they leave. So that's the first book. The second book is Shadow of the Storm, and it is about Shira and how it's in the camp of the Hebrews as they're out in the wilderness now, and it takes place over the time where there's a golden calf, etc., etc. She ends up being a midwife, and so some crazy things happen. Okay, there were parts from this book that I was like, I didn't remember that from the Bible, like when God told the righteous men to go and kill all the people who had sinned in camp, and I'm like, oh wait, like that I don't remember that. And so I read it, I was like, okay, yeah, like somehow I just passed over that. So it's really interesting because this book actually had a plot twist which I really, really did not like. I'm like, no, I do not like that. She gets betrayed by someone, and I really did not like the circumstances around that. That actually made me, I think, lower my rating just a tiny because this is not a okay plot twist. But other than that, this book was absolutely amazing, and her writing is so, it just like sucks you into the world and makes me feel like I am back in the Egyptian, or not, in the biblical time period, you know? So, yes. Oh my goodness, Wings of the Wind, this book, the plot twists in this book, I was like, ah! And I really, really liked it. That made like it go way up higher for me. So, this is about Alana, who is a Canaanite, and she is actually in battle against the Hebrews, and she gets caught, and when they realize she's a girl, they're like, wait, what? And she ends up living with them. It's a long story, not all roses by any means, but that is her story, and really cool perspective. So these books are the first series, and when I was finished with this book, I was so sad because there's a girl in it, her name's Mariah, and I was like, but I want to hear her story. Can this please not be the end of the series? But it was the end of the series, and then her new series came out, which is City of Refuge, which are these two books, and lo and behold, I started this book, which is A Light on the Hill, and the main character is Mariah, so it goes right along with the first series. It just like skips a while and is about a different setting, etc., and it made me so happy to hear more of Mariah's story. And okay, so this is about a girl or a young lady, whatever, who has a deformity, but not a deformity. What is it called? Like, she had something happen to her which was not okay, and it's very obvious, and for that reason she's like an outcast. And then her father is like arranging a marriage for her, and things go utterly wrong, and there are problems. There are like huge problems. And then there's plot twists, and this book was one that made my brain go kaboom. And so yeah, it's totally crazy. And I don't want to say much about it because I don't want to ruin it. And then this is the last book. This is a book that just came out, and I really, really like it, and I'll tell you about it in another video. But it follows right after this one, like 10 years later. But same characters. I'm like, ah! So there you have it, folks. These beautiful, lovely, wonderful books. Biblical fiction at its very best.